Prevention Link is an innovative disability prevention program that focuses on the link between the primary and secondary prevention of occupational injury, illness, and disease in workplaces throughout Ontario. The program offers training, mentoring, outreach, and advisory services for unionized and non-unionized workers, workplace representatives, and employers. Welcome to Prevention Link's presentation. To respond to the challenges facing injured worker advocates, Prevention Link has put together this presentation with information and tips on Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal, also known as WSIAT, teleconferencing and videoconferencing for hearings. The WSIAT developed a best practices document called Teleconference and Videoconference Hearing Information for Representatives and Parties, dated June 15, 2020. Most of the information in this presentation was taken directly from that document. It is meant to supplement the WSIAT's existing practice directions. The Vice Chair or panel assigned to the case will ultimately decide how the hearing or pre-hearing conference will be conducted. The Government of Ontario passed Bill 188, Ontario's Economic and Fiscal Update Act 2020, which received royal assent on March 25, 2020. Schedule 3 to the Act, the Hearings in Tribunal Proceedings, Temporary Measures Act, the HTPA, came into force on the same date. With the passing of the HTPA, the government has made it clear that the public must continue to have access to justice through administrative tribunals during the COVID-19 pandemic. The WSIAT has postponed in-person hearings to support the province-wide effort to stop the spread of COVID-19. Alternative hearing methods are being offered to parties to prevent undue delay. Hearings that proceed by teleconference alone will use telephones for audio. Hearings that proceed by videoconference will use telephones for audio and Zoom for visual. If for any reason the Zoom platform does not function, the hearing may be converted to a teleconference. It will be subject to the discretion of the Vice Chair or panel. The WSIAT will contact participants before video conferences to provide assistance with the operation of Zoom. A representative or party may wish to test their Zoom system before the hearing using this link, zoom.us/test. When participants enter the Zoom meeting, they will be placed into a Zoom virtual waiting room. Once the hearing starts, the Zoom host, usually the Vice Chair, will only admit individuals participating in the hearing. Zoom features disabled include screen share, video, audio recording, and the chat functionality. This is to ensure privacy at the hearing. Parties and representatives should make sure that they have the tools available to participate: high-speed internet, phone and phone charger, laptop with power cord, or computer and webcam. Remember to mute your device when not talking. Representatives must ensure they have access to the case file materials. They can complete an agreed statement of facts if desired. There is a template available, but not required. An agreed statement of facts can narrow the issues on appeal and/or increase the efficiency of the hearing by reducing the number of witnesses that need to be called or the evidence that needs to be presented. It is only used for a two-party appeal. The form must be submitted no later than 3 weeks before the hearing date. Note there are two different forms. One, appeals involving entitlement to loss of earnings, and the other is a general form. Hearing participants should conduct the video conference in a quiet and private indoor space. They should not change their location during a video conference hearing without obtaining permission from the Vice Chair or panel. Participants should dress for the hearing in appropriate clothing. Neat and casual or smart casual attire is appropriate. Sunglasses are not allowed except for medical reasons. Participants should not consume food or smoke during the hearing. Water is fine. If necessary, request a break. Distracting noises should be avoided. Participants should not move away from the screen or turn off the camera during the video conference hearing unless directed by the vice chair or panel. The parties, the representatives, and the vice chair or panel will always be on camera during the hearing. Participants should be mindful of their facial expressions and the position of their hands. Requests for accommodation in relation to a hearing can be made at any point in the adjudicative process. They should be made as early as possible and should include as much specific information as is available. Prepare the injured worker. Explain the teleconference or videoconference hearing processes. Ensure they have a working computer with a webcam and/or a telephone available for a videoconference hearing and a working telephone for a teleconference hearing. Confirm how you are accessing the hearing. Payment for certain expenses are available as outlined in the WSIAT's Practice Direction for Fees and Expenses. For teleconference and videoconference hearings, the WSIAT will reimburse for actual expenses incurred for the telephone charges associated with attending the hearing. For videoconference hearings, the WSIAT will also reimburse for internet and data costs in a set amount related to participating in the videoconference. Like all WSIAT hearings, the teleconference or videoconference hearing will proceed in accordance with the principles of natural justice, including the principle that all parties be given a fair opportunity to have their case heard and to meaningfully participate. Generally speaking, the usual format will be followed: introductory remarks from the vice chair or panel, opening statements from the representatives, questioning of the witnesses, and closing submissions from the representatives. The vice chair or panel will confirm the participant's identity by way of a verification question. If there is a witness, the representative calling the witness will confirm their identity. At the hearing, speak one person at a time. State your name each time you speak, and remember, mute your device when not talking. Representatives and parties may wish to have a confidential discussion. Participants should request a break. Private discussions between parties and representatives will be conducted over the parties' own phone lines. If a representative wishes to put a document to a witness during their testimony, the recommended approach is as follows. Identify the document for the witness, page number, author, date, context. Read verbatim for the record the passage of the document that you intend to put to the witness. If there is an interpreter, they will interpret the words spoken by the individual reading the document aloud. The hearing is recorded as usual. No other recording of the hearing process should occur. Hearing participants are not permitted to take photographs of the video conference hearing or generate screen captures. If there is an objection or question about the proceedings, either representative may raise it at any time respectfully. The recommended approach is as follows. In a teleconference hearing, they should respectfully interrupt the conversation to let the vice chair or panel know they have something to say. In a video conference hearing, they should raise their hand to show the vice chair or panel that they wish to speak. If a party will be calling multiple witnesses, consistent with in-person hearings, the witnesses are expected to provide their testimony individually and are not permitted to hear the testimony of other witnesses. Witnesses should be alone in the individual physical room in which they are testifying. When witnesses are giving their testimony, they must always keep their camera and phone on unless instructed otherwise. The camera should be positioned so that the vice chair or panel and parties can clearly see the witness, particularly their whole face. Vice chairs or panels do not have the ability to receive new documents on the day of the hearing in the teleconference or videoconference process. If a party is of the view that a new document is important and they wish to introduce it, this will become a post-hearing matter. Pandemic circumstances are ever-changing. Please review the WSIAT's website for the most up-to-date information. Prevention Link provides training on a range of topics beneficial to all parties in the workplace and essential to workers' compensation and disability accommodation. Please check our website at preventionlink.ca. Thank you for joining us.